Hello there, Ziggy here, excited to welcome you back and discuss Murphy's latest ComfyUI workflow.
Friends. Welcome, auch von mir, the German one.
This time, we'll be diving into the world of prompting with new stylers, the Portrait Master, prompt with image analysis, and prompt conditioning. As always, we're thrilled to have you join us, and can't wait to share these fantastic features with you. So, buckle up and let's get started. Today, we have a special shout-out for our most loyal fan, who, even though they might not fully grasp all the AI lingo, continues to tune in to every single video. This dedication truly warms our hearts. So, sending a big virtual kiss your way.
Schmuserle, du bist der Beste, big hug.
Hey, Schmuserle may not understand everything to do with AI technology, but he loves the pictures. That's why we're showing you some pictures created with the workflow first. Don't worry, we'll go into detail about the installation and settings later, as we always do. You can use the chapter markers to navigate through the video, but we will use the time to tell you about the new things. The images you're seeing right now were all created using the Portrait Master. The prompt we used was simply woman, mountain panorama, snow-covered peaks in the background. The Portrait Master handled the rest, like camera angle, photography style, lighting, age, pose, facial expression, and nationality. We can even mix nationalities, for example, Swedish and Arabic, or anything else you can imagine. So far, we had woman, age 18, and happy set at a weight of 0. And the nationalities were automatically cycled through increments. We'll show you how to do this later on, in case you're not familiar with the process yet. Now, let's take things a step further. By adjusting the age settings, we'll create a time-lapse effect that shows these women gracefully aging before your eyes. It's a mesmerizing and thought-provoking visual representation of the passage of time, all made possible with just a few tweaks to the Portrait Master's controls. Watch as these ladies transform from young maidens to wise, mature women, right before your eyes. Next up, we'll dive into another incredible node from the new Easy Use Nodes collection, one that had Murphy absolutely thrilled. We'd like to extend a big thank you, once again, to our top viewer from England for the fantastic tip and inspiring comments that keep us motivated to create new videos. Your support means the world to us. Our YouTube colleague Debarga Bhattacharjee has released a fantastic video on this topic. In fact, Murphy was so inspired that he decided to experiment with the node even further, and we'll share those details later on. It's amazing to see how we can learn from each other across borders. Sending warm greetings to our friends in India.
Viele Grüße auch von mir, und ein großes Dankeschön.
Introducing the Style Selector node from the Easy Use Nodes collection, a fantastic tool for individuals experimenting with AI-based art. This node offers a convenient alternative to Murphy's previous prompt styler group and the separate styler group for photos and portraits, allowing for quick and easy customization within modular workflows. The Style Selector is especially helpful for those less familiar with various art styles, as the visual representations make it simple to identify the desired aesthetic. The Easy Nodes collection truly lives up to its name, streamlining the AI experimentation process for everyone. Alright, let's start by installing the nodes that might be missing for some viewers. A quick tip for those new to ComfyUI: it's beneficial to watch all the videos in this playlist, as they sometimes build upon each other. We aim to keep our viewers engaged by avoiding repetitive content and focusing on producing entertaining videos that also provide valuable learning opportunities. Whether we always achieve this is another story. You might notice that the newly added nodes can't be loaded just yet. They need to be installed first, which is why they're highlighted in red. You may already be familiar with this process. Installing these custom nodes is straightforward using the manager. For the nodes listed in the image, the process is automatic. However, for the ComfyUI Styles All node, you'll need to take a few extra steps, which we'll guide you through shortly. The first step is to open the manager. Once the manager is open, simply click on the Install Missing Custom Nodes option to proceed. This will automatically take care of the installation process for most of the nodes. Here, you'll see the two newly added nodes. Click the Install button, and once the installation is complete, restart the application. That's all there is to it. As always, we'll perform these steps in our test system so you can see exactly how it's done. To keep things moving along and avoid boring you with unnecessary waiting, we'll speed up the video during these parts. You may have noticed that we have replaced the Blip Analysis tool with some new nodes. We feel that these are more reliable and have the added benefit of automatically downloading the required model, which is very convenient for our viewers. However, please note that we cannot take responsibility for the functionality or possible malware that may be associated with any models and custom nodes that we use in our workflow. A special thanks to Dr. Data and the Comfy team for keeping an eye on this as well. Your dedication and hard work is truly commendable, and we can't thank you enough. And to the assholes who are trying to smuggle in malware here too, no, such words do not come out of Ziggy's mouth. Now, we're just missing the ComfyUI styles all node. This tip came all the way from England. It was a bit tricky to find, but we can see why you love it. Greetings from Germany. This time, you'll need to open the Custom Nodes Manager within the manager itself. There's a ton of stuff in there, so make sure to filter your search by typing Aegis under the search bar. Select ComfyUI Styles All from the results, then hit Install. Once that's done, restart the application, and we'll be good to go. And once again, we'll be zooming through this part at full speed to keep the video moving. Here's an overview of the entire workflow. On the far right, you'll find some new optimization tools for hands, eyes, and faces, as well as a double face swap for before and after comparisons. This was inspired by one of our viewers, who even sent us their modified workflow. Thanks again for that. Of course, Murphy couldn't resist tinkering with it a bit, adding a few more buttons for toggling options, integrating low RA, and generally trying to optimize things. The workflow is currently at version 0.8 something, as there's still some room for further improvements, like adding control net for hands and so on. Admittedly, the workflow is pretty hefty and a bit overloaded with all the stylers, optimization tools, and upscalers. If you're generating images of landscapes or portraits, you likely won't need a face optimizer. That becomes more useful when adding a person to a scene. As they say, though, full is full. Murphy argues that you can always turn off the features you don't need, without losing significant processing time. Let's turn on the new or modified groups for now.
Mal noch den Titel hier ändern, hat Murphy wohl vergessen. First Styler Group, prompt with image. Here both options are activated, you should choose one, Blip has been changed. And second Styler Group.
We're going to leave the optimization tools off for now, but we'll dive into those in the next video. For the time being, we've kept the groups in the workflow, so that you can experiment with them, delete them, or simply leave them turned off. All groups after the sampler can be deleted easily. Similarly, you can copy these groups into your own workflows, integrate them, or save them as templates. If you'd like to learn more about that process, drop us a comment below. We'll be packaging some stripped-down workflows in a zip file for you over at CivitAI. Now, let's show you just how easy it is to delete elements behind the sampler. To delete elements behind the sampler, start by right-clicking on an empty area within the group. Select Edit Group at the bottom of the menu, then choose Unlock to unlock the group. Now, you can move the group around, but be careful not to release your mouse button while hovering over other nodes. Doing so will add them to the group. The lock and unlock features help keep nodes pinned and can be controlled with the pin and unpin functions. To learn more about these functions, check out the yellow basic information field by pressing 0. Now, you can clearly see how the groups are connected. Next, hold down the Control key and select the nodes you want to delete. Press the Del key to delete them. Remember that the switches between groups are a fantastic idea from Ring 3. Only remove them if you want to delete the groups on both sides. By keeping the switches, you can maintain an organized workflow as you add, remove, or rearrange different elements. Let's tidy up a bit more by deleting all the optimized groups. Keeping our workspace clean and organized makes it easier to focus on the task at hand and helps prevent any confusion as we navigate through the workflow. We'll revisit optimization in the next video, but for now, let's streamline our workspace. Technically, we didn't need to connect the blue nodes at all, Their primary purpose is to bypass the group. However, connecting them doesn't cause any harm either. The switch always checks for information from top to bottom, so any connections below the active one are effectively ignored. This means you can choose to connect or leave them unconnected, based on your preference and workflow organization. Oops, we almost forgot about the reactor node. Let's get rid of that one too, to clean things up a bit more. With that out of the way, our workspace should be looking much tidier now. Don't worry if it still seems a little crowded, Will can handle it.
Sis, ich hol mal den Besen raus und wisch durch.
Yes, perfect. Sweep away the mess, sis. The green group at the end of the workflow essentially loops back to the beginning, connecting to the upscalers, or, if you've deleted those, the storage group. Of course, you could delete the storage group as well, but that might not be what you want. In case you do delete it, you could always add a standard storage node or a preview at the end of the workflow to ensure you can save or view your generated images. It's all about finding the setup that works best for you.
Sis, my goodness, enough with the theory.
Alright, enough with the theory for now. Well, almost. I've been tasked by Murphy to share some information with you about prompting and SDXL. But don't worry, we can explore this with an example that also incorporates swapping out different stylers, so it won't be all talk. When using features such as image-to-image, Blip Analysis, or ControlNet, ensure that you don't delete the image input group. These tools rely on that group to function correctly. The same applies to the Start Settings group. While it's possible to remove some Refiner elements, we recommend keeping them since SDXL and Refiner work best together. As the German saying goes, das frisst kein Brot, meaning it doesn't cost extra to keep these elements in your workflow, and they can actually enhance your SDXL experience.
Sis, das frisst kein Brot. Mach dich bloß nicht mehr über mein Englisch lustig.
Take it easy, sis. I'm here for English, you're here for German. If you'd like, you can delete the model patch and LoRa groups, or swap them out for your own tools. However, keep in mind that if you remove the LoRa group, the LoRs used in your image won't be saved with it. So, if you want to retain that information, it might be best to keep the group intact. Alright, this is the last, but definitely not the least important theory for today. SDXL uses both clip-G and clip-L. Many people use the same prompt for both, and that's fine if you're in a hurry. Clip-G and clip-L each works differently. When using clip-L, it is recommended to separate individual elements and words with commas, similar to SD 1.5. Keep it short and focus on the most important details you want to see in your image. With clip-G, on the other hand, you can use whole sentences to describe details in more detail. To save time, you can use the SDXL prompt handling node from JPS Nodes, which allows you to brush. Apply the same text to both clip-G and clip-L. Use the unique strengths of clip-G and clip-L to get the most out of SDXL.
With shortcut 2, we jump back to the prompt input.
Keep in mind that these guidelines may not apply to other models, as they may be trained differently. Let's create an image for the start and customize the prompt accordingly. For clip-G, we will use an impressive close-up of the face of a skinny Gothic woman that captivates the viewer. Her pale, porcelain-like skin appears almost supernatural, while her dark eyes exude depth and penetration. Mountains in the background. And for clip-L, let's keep it short with close-up, woman, mountain. We'll also use the following modifiers for both clip-G and clip-L to emphasize the quality of the image. Award-winning. By being able to enter our prompt in different fields, it's easier to experiment. Okay, quite nice, but was just a shot in the dark. Alright, let's move on to Portrait Master. First, delete the previous prompt, since we want to make the most out of the Portrait Master feature. We'll explore how this feature works in detail. With Portrait Master, you can create stunning portraits with intricate details and customizations that really bring your images to life. We'll dive into the various settings and options available, showing you how to get the most out of this powerful tool. Okay, we must have forgotten to switch it on at the front. it works there too. Oops, what is that? We must have accidentally unpinned the nodes. Let's fix that quickly. Great. Now let's focus on Portrait Master. This feature allows us to create detailed and customizable portraits that can really make your images stand out. To begin, let's take a look at the interface and familiarize ourselves with the various options available. As you can see, there are countless possibilities within Portrait Master. We won't dive into every single option, as many of them are self-explanatory. Besides, you already saw some examples at the beginning of the video. Feel free to experiment with the various settings and explore the potential of this feature. We hope you have a lot of fun playing around with it. Let's showcase some examples at 10x video speed, demonstrating the versatility of Portrait Master. This will give you a taste of what's possible and hopefully inspire you to try out different combinations of settings to achieve your desired results. Don't be afraid to get creative and push the boundaries of what you thought was possible in portrait generation. To jump between the finished image and the prompt group quickly, we can use a couple of handy shortcuts. Simply press Shortcut 8 to view the final image and Shortcut 2 to navigate back to the prompt group. This will allow you to easily compare your changes and adjustments, making the creative process smoother and more efficient. If you weren't aware, there's a neat trick you can use to easily test different inputs with primitive nodes. Simply right-click on the node, select Convert Widget to Input, and then connect it to a primitive node. From there, you can choose either Increment or Randomize as the input mode. Each time you press the button, it will update the input, making it a handy tool for testing various settings. However, if you want to refine your image step by step within your workflow, this method may not be the best approach. There's not much more to say about this node. The best way to learn is by experimenting with it yourself. Now, you might be wondering about the numerous nodes underneath and what they're for. Let's dive into those. Here, you can easily connect various styler groups. We'll demonstrate that shortly. But the most important aspect of this feature is that you can control the order in which elements are applied to your prompt during conditioning. Remember, the earlier an element appears in the prompt, the more influence it has. Murphy appears to have focused only on colors and forgot to provide proper descriptions for the nodes, which I'll rectify immediately. You can manage this separately for Clip G and Clip L. You can choose whether to apply the styler first or the prompt first, have no styler at all, or just use the styler. Simply select your preference and experiment to get a better feel for prompting. A good starting point is using Clip G with the styler applied first, and Clip L without a styler. In this case, make sure to include the most crucial details in your prompt for best results. The button allows you to disable the group, either here or in the front, as the switches are connected. Below, you'll see the text output from the styler. The remaining components are the technical aspects that manage the switching process and automatically bypass the group when it's disabled. Now, let's attach another styler module, as promised. Make sure both groups are unlocked, which can be done by right-clicking as demonstrated earlier. Then, drag the group out, while being careful not to release the mouse button too soon, or you might accidentally collect nodes from other groups. Following these steps will ensure that you can seamlessly integrate additional styler modules into your workflow without any unintended consequences. Insert the desired module, Hello to England, and there you have your beloved collection styler. The original node is no longer available, as the developer has withdrawn their work. However, according to the new developer, this is a one-to-one clone, so you can expect the same functionality and features as the original. This means you can continue using this popular styler tool in your workflow without any issues. Now, we need to connect the three noodles, and the colors and sequence should help you avoid any mix-ups.
Finally, we turn on the group and voila. That's it, you have successfully integrated a new styler module into your workflow.
Yes, sis. With this addition, you now have even more options and flexibility when creating your images, and can experiment with different styles and effects to achieve the perfect look for your images. Let's run a quick test to see how it works, which should be fairly self-explanatory. You can also apply the tip with the primitive node, allowing you to automatically play through all the variants. If you have an RTX 4090, we'll catch up with you next year with more tips and tricks. However, if you don't, it might take even longer to explore the countless possibilities, given the sheer number of options and settings available. You're right, we might be exaggerating a bit, but we wanted to emphasize the large number of styles the node has. I remember during one of Olivio's live streams, we drew his attention to one of the earliest styler nodes. It was in Automatic 1111. Suddenly, different ideas started coming into play, and before we knew it, Olivio had cobbled together a new styler category using ChatGPT. This still works today, as the structure of the JSON files has remained the same. Murphy even had something for hairstyles, so his wife could preview how different styles would look on her before she got them done. Pretty cool, right? Houston, we have a problem. Let's run through it one more time, and then we'll check out the absolutely awesome style selector from the easy use nodes. Greetings to both India and England for this tip. And a special thank you to the developers of the easy use nodes. There is still a lot hidden in there. It's worth mentioning that we had a small issue, and need to adjust the prompt first, you know, no nudity allowed here. And there it is, the style selector, complete with nifty thumbnail previews. Even a complete novice can quickly get an idea of the artistic direction by browsing through the images. Here, we'll perform some brief tests and demonstrate its usage. And hey, beneath that, you'll spot that familiar group where you can control the order and content of your prompts for both Clip L and Clip G. It's all about making the process as user-friendly as possible, right? Once again, we're saving this workflow with our recommended settings. However, don't be afraid to explore the various options and try out different combinations. Anything is possible, and each choice offers its own unique advantages in different situations. This is all about unleashing your creativity and pushing the boundaries of what you can achieve with SDXL. Now it's time for the Ziggies to play around with it a bit, even though most viewers likely already have a solid understanding of how it works. Still, it's always fun to see a tool in action, and who knows, maybe the Ziggies will stumble upon some new and interesting ways to use it.
Ich will auch. Weg jetzt, lass mich mal. Please sis, I have an idea.
Ah, nice find, sis. The search feature is a really handy tool to have, as it allows you to quickly locate specific styles or keywords within the style selector. This can save you a lot of time and effort, especially when working with a large collection of styles.
Nee sis. Das war noch gar nicht meine Idee, das war Zufall. Ich will die vordere Stylergruppe mit der hinteren kombinieren und... Na du weißt schon, die primitive Node einbinden, dann lassen wir die Kiste laufen, die Zuschauer können gucken und wir gehen einen Kaffee trinken.
Sis, that's even better. Sometimes happy accidents can lead to great discoveries. So, you're planning to combine the front styler group with the one in the back, then incorporate the primitive node, and let it run while our viewers enjoy the show, right? Sounds like a plan. Let's get that coffee brewing while the magic happens on screen. The coffee turned out great, and it seems like the viewers are enjoying the demonstration too. However, Murphy might not be too pleased if he catches us slacking off, so let's put on our best busy bee act and pretend like we've been hard at work the whole time. After all, a little bit of mischief never hurt, as long as we don't get caught. To make Murphy think we're explaining something important without bothering the viewers, you could use some technical jargon or industry-specific lingo. Perhaps throw in a few buzzwords or phrases like optimizing the neural network parameters or adjusting the algorithm's learning rate to sound extra knowledgeable and engaged. That should do the trick.
Shit.
Oh no, Murphy's onto us. Quick, let's think of a way to salvage the situation.
Ich hab's. Vorbereitung für Topic 3.
Phew, you're a quick thinker. That sounds like a solid excuse, saying you were preparing for the next topic, prompting with blip analysis from an image. This could be a fascinating subject, and I'm sure Murphy will be intrigued enough to overlook our previous casual conversation. After all, exploring ways to enhance the prompting process with image analysis is certainly a valuable topic to cover.
Guten Morgen. Oops. Good morning. Dear viewers.
Yes, we had to hit the hay yesterday because Murphy was in a bit of a snit. Don't worry though, we're all good now. He's already been busy creating a simplified workflow for us to use today. This version will be available for download, so you can follow along as we dive into the blip prompting method and review some extra conditioning. I hope this strikes the right tone and resonates with our audience. Using blip is super simple. Just follow these 3 easy steps. Press the Start Settings button and activate Prompt with Image Mode. This will automatically enable the 2 analysis tools,
Push 3.
Blip and Danbaru. Turn off the tools you don't want to use. If you keep both Blip and Danbaru activated, blip analysis will be applied within the workflow. Here you can see which image is used for the analysis. And here you can change the way it is analyzed with your input. Standard is a photography of
Push 0.
Once you've activated blip analysis, it's time to select the image you want to analyze. As a bonus tip, did you know that you can also optimize existing images? Just disable the sampler under Start Settings, and your input image will be sent directly to the Face Optimizer or Upscale tools for enhancement.
Push 3. End Q prompt.
The text of the blip analysis should appear here immediately. And there it is, the blip analysis text. It reads, "A painting of a rat in a leather jacket on a beach, with a blue sky and water in the background." This description provides a wealth of information that can help you fine-tune your prompts and create more detailed, accurate, AI-generated images. Voila! Thanks to Blip's image analysis and the refined prompt, we've created a masterpiece, a painting of a rat on the beach, complete with a stylish leather jacket, blue sky, and crystal clear water in the background. Who knew a rat could look so cool and sophisticated?
Push 3. Aber, but this is no hamster.
Oh dear, you're absolutely right. That's no hamster, it's a rat. My apologies for the mix-up. It seems that even with the help of Blip's image analysis, it's still important to keep our eyes peeled and make sure we're correctly identifying the subjects in our artwork. Instead of manually adjusting the prompt, we can guide Blip's analysis by providing more specific instructions on what to look for in the image. This way, Blip can focus on detecting the desired elements, such as the presence of a hamster, and generate a more accurate text description for our prompt. By refining the input we give to Blip, we can improve the output we receive and create more precise AI-generated images. Here you go, sis. A cute hamster painting just for you.
Kiss, thank you so much. You're the best.
Now it feels like a warm, familial exchange, celebrating the joy of creating and sharing something special together. We already covered the Danbaru analysis in our image-to-image video. For those who may have missed it, feel free to check out the video for a detailed explanation, or dive right into experimenting with Danbaru analysis on your own. Before we wrap up, there's one more thing we want to point out. Murphy added the selection for Clip L and Clip G here as well. Both are now set to 4, which will ensure that only the text generated by the blip analysis is used in our AI-generated image. Now, let's switch things up a bit by setting both Clip L and Clip G to 1. By doing this, our original prompt will be included in the process, working alongside the blip analysis text. This combination should yield some interesting results, as the AI will now take into account both our custom prompt and the insights provided by Blip. Let's see what happens. Wow, what a fascinating result! By combining our original prompt with the blip analysis text, we've managed to create a unique blend of Nina Lady, temple, and the adorable hamster on the beach. This unexpected fusion showcases the power of integrating multiple sources of information into the AI generation process, yielding captivating and one-of-a-kind images. To wrap things up, let's do a quick refresher on extra conditioning, which we covered in more detail in the first video of this series. To activate extra conditioning, make sure it's turned on and select a variant. We recommend going with conditioning with time step, as it allows for precise control over the influence of the conditioning. By mastering this technique, you'll be able to fine-tune your AI-generated images and achieve even more stunning results.
Remember to always have two buttons on. Sis, I am taking off.
Hey, we haven't written anything in the extra prompt yet.
Stay cool, sis. Murphy must have written something in there. Let's take a look.
Alrighty sis, let's get this show on the road. With your command, the AI generation process begins, incorporating all the settings, prompts, and analyses we've discussed throughout this tutorial. As the gears start turning and the pixels start dancing, let's replace the man in the prompt with hamster, so that our adorable little animal remains the star of the show, and add a sword into the mix. While we were discussing our adjustments to the prompt, our first image with extra conditioning has finished processing. Let's take a look at what we've created. Indeed, the image before us shows the influence of our initial prompt, a man with red hair. However, since we've now changed the prompt to feature a hamster instead, we can expect to see a different outcome in the next iteration. I'm going to add wearing a blue shirt to our prompt. That way, we can use extra conditioning to control the colors and elements in our image, instead of relying solely on seeds and hoping for the best. So, this will help us avoid things like red hair leading to a red jacket and then red eyes. More control, less chance of weirdness.
I'll change the distribution values a little. And go for the show.
Indeed, with our updated prompt and the power of extra conditioning, we should now be looking at a pretty epic scene. A sword-wielding ninja hamster at the beach, complete with a castle in the background, fiery red hair, and a cool blue shirt. Kaboom! Our ninja hamster, with a sword on the beach and a castle in the background, sporting red hair and a blue shirt, has arrived with a bang. This way, we'll capture the enthusiasm and celebratory spirit of our artistic achievement. Wow, that's an impressive picture. It's almost a perfect match, except for the hamster ears, which look more like red pom-poms. Maybe we could adjust the prompt to get real hamster ears.
That's easy. Let me take a quick sis. I thus turn some weighting on the hamster.
The image looks great, even with the 4 pom-pom-like ears. But that'll wrap it up for today. We hope you had fun watching and learned something new. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. There are plenty more videos in this series to come, so stay tuned for more AI-generated adventures and discoveries.
Sis. Aber erstmal ist Urlaub.
Indeed, it's time for a well-deserved vacation. Yes, sis. It's time to kick back, relax, and soak up some sun. We'll be taking a break from AI-generated images for a bit, to recharge our creative batteries. But don't worry, we'll be back soon with more exciting tutorials and discoveries to share. Until then, stay awesome, and keep exploring the fascinating world of AI art.